Well, we are with the general manager of Hendrick Motorsports, and that's Jeff Andrews. Jeff, maybe just lead us off. Won the $1 million for winning the race, won the $100,000 for winning the pit crew bonus. Couldn't be more white hot as a team. Maybe just talk about this stretch that you guys are having, and specifically tonight, and the $1.1 million you guys have taken home.
Yeah, well, first, thank you very much on behalf of all of Hendrick Motorsports. We appreciate that, and I think tonight is a testament of a top to bottom effort from the entire organization. Obviously, a little bit different package here, the way the engine configuration was, and some unknowns there. Certainly, I think for everybody in the field, of just exactly what this package was going to do, and how it would perform, and how it would draft. And certainly obviously everybody has tools these days to make those kind of predictions, but until you get on track and actually race it and get some laps on it, and see where you're at. But again, hats off to our group on the preparation of the cars, and just all the men and women of Hendrick Motorsports are just bringing some amazing race cars to the racetrack right now. And the pit crew could not be prouder of Alan and those guys on that 9 team for winning that competition tonight. And I think again, it's just to me a top to bottom total effort by the company as a whole. And certainly our pit crews have been working as hard as anybody in this business to be better, and that's starting to show. Obviously, some great stops in competition, over recent weeks that have got our cars in great shape late race to win some races, and then again tonight, when the money's on the line, and a live pit stop like that in competition, and the way we had set it up there at the end for essentially our cars to pit together, to have that pressure on those guys and have them come through. Just really, really proud what our pit coaches are doing, and everybody back at HMS.
Thank you, Jeff. If you have a question for Jeff, please raise your hand, and we'll start with Lee Spencer. Go ahead, Lee.
Thanks for joining us, Jeff. Just kind of curious, with you having a background as an engine guy, what you thought of tonight's package. And I know it's too early and you're going to have to look at data and what have you, but just the eye test, what were some of your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I think if the goal was to get the cars closer together and increase the effect of the side draft, and increase the ability or the likelihood of a car to draft up on another car or 2 cars that were side by side in front of them, I think that worked. I mean, I thought tonight's racing, certainly some short segments in there where things really didn't have a chance to kind of relax a little bit, and some of the pace start to show up. But certainly from a competition side and a fan perspective, I would have to say that that was a good move. I think it produced the intent of what the reduction in power was intended to do. It looked very competitive on the racetrack, and I think at any given time there seemed like, especially on restarts, I thought the restarts were great, and there was some real opportunities there to kind of jumble some things up on the restarts, depending on the side draft you got and who your partner was pushing you. So
thank you for your time.
Next we'll go to Mitchell Brewer. Go ahead, Mitchell.
Jeff, congratulations on the win. I'm just curious, what's the emotions like right now with Hendrick Motorsports? Is there a sense of pressure that with this dominance that you want to keep it going, and it maybe creates more pressure to keep it going? Or is everybody just so confident that you just believe that this run will keep going?
Well, I think, yeah, there's 2 aspects to that. You've got a Mr. Hendrick preaches to us that we have to celebrate our victories. And we certainly need to do that, because there's a lot of hard work that's going on by a lot of people back at Hendrick Motorsports behind the scenes that are bringing these amazing race cars to the racetrack right now. So we've got to take a little bit of time and make sure we're celebrating that with our folks. But at the same time, we fully know that this is a long season, and we've seen many times there's been dominant cars and dominant teams through the season. And then when it gets time, for the playoffs. There's all kinds of things that can happen in those couple of months there. So we're not wanting to be too confident right now. We're wanting to stay focused. We know we need to continue to improve our race cars and bring better race cars to the racetrack every week. But in the middle there, we're going to take a little bit of time to celebrate our wins and celebrate what's going on at Hendrick Motorsports right now. That's important for our people.
Thank you, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Mark Garrow. Okay, Mark.
Thank you. Last week or the week before, I'm trying to remember exactly, but Martin Truex Jr. said of all the years to try to play catch up to a team like Hendrick Motorsports, this would be the toughest. The parts freeze, basically the freeze on everything until we get to the next gen car. Does that make you guys a little more confident that you'll be able to keep this edge for hopefully the rest of the season?
I think from our perspective, we still feel like there's knobs to turn. There certainly is, advantages to gain there. I think you saw tonight that there was some Gibbs cars and some Penske cars that were up there and very competitive. Those guys are going to come and they're going to improve themselves through the year here. And, when you're running like this, obviously you're making a lot of people mad at you and you go back and you work very hard. We know we've been in that position last summer. We were in this exact position where we were leaving here very upset and not satisfied with ourselves or our results. And you go back and you work hard. And so, yeah, there certainly is some rules and parts freezes and regulations, that are in place. But there's plenty of knobs to turn on these race cars to still find some speed here in the next couple months.
I know Cliff Daniels is waiting on deck, so we'll take one more question for Jeff, and that'll go to Alex Andreev. Go ahead, Alex.
Hey, Jeff. I'm curious, just with the success that the 5 team has had this year, I mean, how much is that the driver versus, just having a super fast car and being successful on this 1.5 mile tracks, really? Well,
obviously, Kyle Larson is a tremendous talent, and we're very fortunate to have him as a part of our organization. Great move in the off season by Jeff Gordon and Mr. Hendrick to acquire him. I think, the success of that team is obviously Cliff Daniels and that race team have done a tremendous job with the race cars they've been given, and they come to the track and execute very well prepared when they get here. But that also goes back to, again, what they're being given to come here to the racetrack and race with. And there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes. Chevrolet this year has stepped up tremendously on the technical side and been a huge asset for us and a huge part of our success. And again, all the men and women, back at Hendrick Motorsports that are just putting some amazing race cars together right now and locking arms and very focused and staying focused for the coming months in the playoffs.
Thank you.
Okay, Jeff, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations again, and good luck next week in Nashville.
Great. Thank you. Appreciate it.